What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? I am your boy, Niners Sickness. What's going on, guys? All right, let me just put my monitors on real quick. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good time. What's up, Kathy? Got my monitors on. All right. Give me a second. How's everybody doing? It is Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about. Football, football, football. We can never get enough football. It doesn't have to be in the season to talk football, right? We can always talk football. How you doing, Kathy? How you doing, Don? How you doing, Kevin? Tom, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. So, unless you've been living underneath a rock, you know that Robert Saleh has been pursued, is being pursued for an opportunity to become a head coach. And there's 4 teams that had requested permission to talk to him. It was originally the Falcons, the Lions, and the Jaguars. But just recently, the LA Chargers, I was going to say San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers also requested to speak to your boy, Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, what he did this year is amazing. What he did this year is completely amazing. Last year, he had the number 1 defense in passing, pass against, and he had some great numbers last year. But we had everybody pretty much play last year when we went to the Super Bowl. This year, in particular, has been amazing for him. I know a lot of you Niner fans don't like Robert Saleh. Some of you do. Some of you don't like it. You guys don't like him because he doesn't make proper adjustments accordingly to your liking. But his preparation for the game is superb. This guy goes into a game and prepares very well. We beat Kyle Murray and the Arizona offense. Then we play the Seattle Seahawks. Even though we lost, we contained them to 6 points for 3 quarters. For 3 quarters, they only had 6 points. And when you're dealing with someone like Russell Wilson, you're going to get in a situation where you're going to find yourself eventually allowing him to escape, and Russell Wilson is going to do what Russell Wilson does, right? But to contain him for 3 quarters at 3 points, that speaks volumes for the character and the coaching of Robert Saleh. You can not like him, but stats don't lie. Robert Saleh has been amazing. He deserves a head coaching job. I do not want to see him go. I would love for him to stay, but that will be selfish in my part, and that'll be selfish as anybody that wants him to stay. Any coach that coaches a positional spot on a team, their primary goal is to eventually become a head coach. Whether you're coaching in the Pee-wees, you're coaching in high school, you're coaching in college, or if you coach in the pros, your main objective as a coach is to one day become a head coach of a team. And even though I don't want to see Robert Saleh leave, he is deserving of an opportunity to become a head coach. Now, I hope that one of these 4 teams are smart enough to truly acknowledge that Robert Saleh, not only is he a good defensive coordinator, but he is great with players. Players love to play for him. Listen, the Niners have been in Arizona since December 2nd. And they went all the way to New Year's staying in the hotel. Okay? These players cannot hang out with each other. They had to be individually in their own room. They've been out of the playoffs, right? They weren't playing for playoffs. But yet, the type of character that Robert Saleh has, and I'm not talking about Kyle Shanahan right now. I love Kyle Shanahan. He does the same thing for the offense. This show is particularly about Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh's character, his personality, his vibes. Players love to play for him. The Niners' defensive players had nothing to play for but for Robert Saleh. They weren't playing for a chance to make the playoffs. They were playing for a chance for Robert Saleh to be recognized and hopefully become a head coach. These players have been away from their families through Christmas and New Year's. They have nothing to play for, yet they came out and gave their 100%. Why? Because they have admiration and love and respect for Robert Saleh. Any team that hires him as a head coach. Now, I don't know what his career is going to be like. I don't know if he's going to be successful or not as a head coach. What I do know is they're going to get a person that's going to bring unity into that locker room, and he's going to bring out the best of every single player in that locker room. Players will play for Robert Saleh. So I asked you guys, out of the Jaguars, Lions, Falcons, and now the Chargers, in your opinion, where is the best fit for Saleh? Which of those 4 organizations could thrive once they get Robert Saleh? Also, which team is beneficial, not just for the team, but for Robert? Coach Robert. What's up, Javier? How you doing, sir? Let me read the comments. Kathy says he will be missed. Tom says, yes, very impressive. Don says he will be missed for sure. Javier says, what's up, fellas? Yeah, man. So, these 4 teams, or any other teams that may put their hats in their hats inside the ring, need to really, really make a smart decision. Now, like I said, I don't want Robert Saleh to leave. I would love for Robert Saleh. You heard it. Niner Sickness would love for Robert Saleh to be back with the San Francisco 49ers. Because you see how the players play for him. He earns the respect of each player. But, like I said previously, the man is entitled for an opportunity to become a head coach. Now, this is the question that I want to ask as well. But when Robert Saleh becomes a head coach, who is he taking with him from the Niners coaching staff? Who is Robert Saleh going to take from the Niners coaching staff with him? LaFleur, our passing coordinator, the guy over there in Green Bay's younger brother that is with us. If he goes with Saleh, he can be Saleh's offensive coordinator. Now, Robert Saleh, and I like Robert Saleh, okay? But if he starts dipping too much into our coaching staff, I might be a little pissed. Our linebackers coach, DeMeco Ryans, I like him. I would love to keep him as our linebacker coach. Bring another defensive coordinator and continue to keep him as our linebackers coach. But the possibility is that when Robert Saleh becomes a head coach, he may target DeMeco Ryans as his defensive coordinator. I do not want to see DeMeco Ryans leave. With that said, I would rather have Kyle Shanahan promote DeMeco Ryans to become the new defensive coordinators of our San Francisco 49ers. Does he have experience? No. But neither did Robert Saleh. And look what Robert Saleh did in 4 years. Just maybe DeMeco Ryans is a better defensive coordinator. There are candidates out there that we can bring in. There's Dan Quinn, Raheem Morris. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Gus. He's a defensive coordinator right now for the Chargers, but the Chargers, we don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know if they're going to retain him there, if he wants to stay there, or does he want to move on. Now, if he comes to us, he just goes from Joey Bosa, a great pass rusher, to a better, younger pass rusher in Nick Bosa. Okay, let's see here. What's up, Tom? Tom says, that's a good question. I think anyone expects Jags, they are lost. Javier says, send him to Detroit. He'll pick that team up. I like that. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Robert Saleh is from the Detroit area. Robert Saleh is from the Detroit area. Either was raised there or born there, but he went to high school there. He went to, I believe, college there. So Detroit will be an interesting spot for him. But he don't have a quarterback he has a quarterback in Matthew Stafford, but how long is he going to be there? The Fords are a mess. The Jaguars, that's a kind of scary situation because the Jaguars, Khan, which is the owner of the Jaguars, has publicly said he wants control of player personnel. Imagine being a coach, and going into this Jaguar organization, and you have no control of the players. Who you keep, who you let go, or who you want to draft. It has to be approved by the owner. That's a bad situation. Yes, they have the number 1 draft pick. Trevor Lawrence is most likely heading that way. They have about $100 million in cap space, or money to spend, I should say. But that is I don't know. I don't like that situation with the Jaguars. I think the Falcons, it's a good spot. Again, Matt Ryan is not a young puppy anymore. He's older. I think he's even older than Matthew Stafford, but I love the owner. I don't love him. I like the owner of Atlanta, he doesn't just fire you right away. He allows you to try to bring the team around. He gave Dan Quinn every opportunity to be successful, and Dan Quinn just couldn't do it. The Chargers are interesting. They have a young quarterback that they drafted last year, and Herbert. This kid is going to be special. They have a couple of good receivers, a good running back, and a great defense. And they're only going to get better. But as the owners in Detroit and the owners with the Chargers are terrible. Terrible, terrible organization. But I'm interested to see if the choice becomes Robert Saleh to choose a destination, where would he go? Where would he put his future in? The Lions, the Jaguars, the Chargers, or the Falcons? That's going to be interesting. Very interesting. LaFleur will be offensive coordinator with Saleh for sure. Tom says, what about Vic? Well, Fangio hasn't technically been fired from the Broncos. John Elway was promoted, and now there's a position for a GM available for a GM to come in. Now, depending on who the GM they hire is going to determine if he's going to want to stick with Vic Fangio. If the new GM comes in and does not want Vic Fangio and he gets let go, I would love to bring Vic Fangio back to San Francisco to be our defensive coordinator. I would love that. I just don't know if he'll become available, if the Broncos are going to keep him as head coach. Didn't San Diego just hire a new GM? I don't know. Does San Diego even have a team? It's the LA Chargers, no longer San Diego, my friend. But I don't know. Ask Jason Garrett about that. Yeah. True. Did you see that we signed a trader player? Listen. This player, it's just depth. It's not a key position. So we signed 13 players. They're just trying to build a roster. I'm not too concerned. He might not even make the team. So I'm not concerned. And regardless of where they played in the past, once they put on the red and gold, it washes away all that crazy ugliness of other colors of any other team. Chargers requested interview with Robert. Yes, he did. And so there's now 4 teams. Yes, Roberto. But now I don't know if you guys probably already. You guys, man, the Niner faithful are just up to date. But in case you were not aware, let me mention this to you. If and when Robert Saleh gets hired, with the new rules in the NFL, because he is a minority getting an opportunity to be a head coach, the Niners will be rewarded not 1, but 2 third-round picks. 2 round picks. third round picks. So we'll get a third round pick this year draft, and we'll get one for the 22. I don't want Robert Saleh to leave, but if he gets a head coaching, and because he's a minority, we will be awarded 2 third round drafts. And right now, presently, we don't have a third round. Remember, we gave our third round pick to the Washington football team for the services of Trent Williams. So that third will come in at a perfect spot. Now it'll be at the end of the third, but still, it's still a high pick because it's a third pick. So that is nice to know. Guys, tell me I am not the only one who hasn't taken down their Niner flag. I bleed red and gold 365 days a year. Right there, and right there, and right there. 365 days a year, brother. So I never take my colors down. In front of my house, I have the Niners, the Lakers, and the Oakland A's. And on the other side, right in the corner, I have my wife's team, the Giants. She's a San Francisco Giants fan. But my colors are on 365 days a year. I no longer have one. Lost mine 2 years ago in the campfire in Paradise, California. Wow. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. Lucky, what's up, brother? How you doing, sir? You are very right, Beto. I appreciate that. My wife will completely disagree with you on that statement that I'm right, but she's not listening, so thank you. So, okay, guys. So, listen. The Chargers perhaps are the most attractive of all the teams that are looking at Saleh. Not only do they have a young franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert, but they've got the making of a solid defense with playmakers such as defensive end Joey Bosa, safety Darwin James, a pair of promising linebackers in Kenny Murray. While Saleh has distinguished himself as one of the very best defensive coordinators in the league, while the Niners, he is joining a list of 7 other known Chargers candidates to take over for Anthony Lynn, who was fired on Monday, going 33-31 in 4 seasons. So he is in the mix with 7 other candidates. So personally, myself, I think the Chargers are going to hire an offensive player. When you have a caliber of quarterback like Justin Herbert, unless the defensive coordinator, in this case Robert Saleh, can tell the Chargers in that interview, this is who the offensive coordinator is going to be. He is great with quarterbacks. Then the owners may want to take that into consideration. But for the majority, history tells us that teams that have a young, promising franchise quarterback tends to take a offensive-minded coach to come in and lead the squad to the promised land. So that is interesting to see where Robert Saleh lands. Let me ask you guys real quick. Tell me one thing you like about Robert Saleh, and tell me one thing you don't like about Robert Saleh. I am interested and curious to see who you like. Do you like Robert Saleh? What do you like about Robert Saleh, and what you don't like? Hold on, guys. I am curious to see what you guys like and dislike. Let's see here. Let me bring some of your comments so people can see, make you famous. I like the bottom part of that logo logo there, Lucky, not the upper part. Lakers, baby. We're gonna repeat. I like this. Okay. So he likes that he inspires the players, but he dislikes late to make changes and adjustments. That is, you know what, Tom? Very good observation, bro. I like that. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with you. Very good. He prepares very well. Prior to the game, he prepares very, very well. But his downside is his in-game decision on adjustments. He seems to go into the first two quarters what he dialed up, and then he makes his proper adjustments at the half. He has, but he's not consistent in making adjustments from quarter number 1 to quarter number 2. It's always from after the half where he makes his adjustments. Gotta get the girls ready for bed soon. Been a long day today. The girls and I will see you all on Friday. Once again, Don, thank you for hanging out with me here at the Niners Sickness Report. My own personal YouTube channel. I appreciate it. And she is right. Remember that on Friday we all will be at the NWA Niners with Attitude podcast on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you tune in to the NWA on Friday. Here on the Niners Sickness Report, I don't have dates. I just go on when I want to go on, when my wife gives me permission. I'll go on and just talk to you guys about our 49ers. His energy ramps up players. However, he can't make adjustments. That seems to be the common theme about Robert Saleh. The common complaint is his in-game adjustments are not as good as his preparation prior to the game. But he is a people's coach. He does bring the best from his players. And hopefully he will learn to make those adjustments, especially as a head coach. Justin Herbert is from my Oregon. Yeah. Oh, you're an Oregon Duck? Oh, okay. Well, then you must love Eric Armstead. And you must have hated when DeForest Buckner left. The Ducks. So, yeah, I'm not going to be long, but I want to just come on here, talk a little bit about Robert Saleh. I'm curious to see where he goes. Then I'm curious to see who he takes with him. Which coaching staff on the Niners staff right now is he targeting to take with him? And who will and can he stop, referring to Kyle Shanahan, Who can he let go? Who can he stop? Or can he even stop any coaches from leaving? That will be the interesting to see what happens. Exactly, Beto. He will bring out the best from his players, which is the number one quality of a coach. The proper adjustments can be worked on. You can work on making better adjustments. So I guess what I'm trying to say, if you had to pick one of these qualities to be good at, a great adjustment coach or a great players coach, I would prefer 100 out of 100 times a players coach than an adjusting coach. You can learn to adjust, but it's kind of hard to learn to be a players coach if that's not who you are. So I would take him being a players coach, and hopefully he grasps and he learns how to make proper adjustments. I say Shanahan signs with whatever team Saleh goes to as head coach. Oh, Sherman. Oh my God. I don't know how I saw that as Shanahan. Shanahan must be on my head. So let me read it again. I apologize there, Roberto. I say Sherman signs with whatever team Saleh goes as head coach. Sorry for botching that up, brother. That's a very interesting point, Roberto. Sherman is definitely not coming back to the San Francisco 49ers. He still has a couple years underneath his belt. He obviously knows Robert Saleh's system. That is a very good point. I think you're right. I think that whatever team he goes to, most likely he'll bring Richard Sherman, and Richard Sherman will go sign on that team to be with his coach, Robert Saleh. Don says, "You are very." Oh, thank you, Don. Have a wonderful night. God bless. Tell Ariel and Jayla that I said hello. Give them my love. Tell your hubby, even though he's a Raider fan, that I still have respect for him because he has two great daughters and an amazing wife that loves the 49ers. Appreciate you, Don. I really do. You are a blessing to this podcast. All of you are. But Don, continue to take care of those two beautiful girls as you do. Give them a hug from the Niner Sickness. Uncle Niner Sickness. And we'll see you on Friday, God willing, on the NWA Niner Sickness podcast. Don, good night and have a blessed, wonderful evening. So, I'm not going to be on here too long. I just wanted to talk real quick about Robert Saleh and the 4 potential teams that have requested to interview him. I am curious, like I said, which team he goes to and who he takes with him. Not only, and to a point that Roberto Hastings brought, not only Richard Sherman, but what other players like Hyder. Hyder is going to want to get paid. He led in sacks this year, especially with the absence of D. Ford and Nick Bosa. Hyder had a great year as a Niner. Now, he was brought in because of Kocurek. Kocurek, that's his boy. But will he re-sign with the Niners to be a rotational defensive end? Or will he follow Robert Saleh and potentially be a starter? Now, common sense says if you are a player, you want to play. Backup with the Niners, starting. Now, again, depending where Robert Saleh goes, too. Because if Robert Saleh goes to the Chargers, they got their pair of ends over there. So, Hyder will be a backup as well. Will he be a backup with Robert Saleh at the Chargers, or will he stay in San Francisco? Will he feel comfortable with Robert Saleh as his coach, or will he be willing to take a new coach as a defensive coordinator with the Niners? All those things are going to take place. It's going to be interesting to see who goes with Saleh, coaches-wise and players. Which players? Maybe DJ Jones goes with Robert Saleh. Maybe what's his name? The one that he didn't play. Solomon Thomas can go with Robert Saleh. It's going to be interesting to see who goes with Robert Saleh as players and coaches. I hope he doesn't take Ahkello Witherspoon. I know a lot of you guys don't like Ahkello, or known as a Kulo. In case you don't know why I said Ahkello, I don't know I forgot what game it was. The Boston hater pointed it out to me because I didn't hear it, but he heard it. The announcer during that particular game referenced on live TV when he was making a comment about Ahkello Witherspoon. Instead of saying Ahkello Witherspoon, he said Ahkello Witherspoon. And that was hilarious. But he is a person that might leave with Robert Saleh. I would want him to stay here with the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, he is. Yes, DJ Jones is a free agent. Roberto, Ward is not a free agent. Ward is locked down. Ward is, he's signed with us. He's part of the Niners. He can take Tart. Bye-bye, Tart. But Ward will stay. If he wants Ward, he's going to have to give us a couple of, not a couple, but a draft pick from whatever team he goes to. And I'm referring to Robert Saleh. But yes, DJ Jones, to my understanding, I could be wrong. It won't be the first, and it won't be the last. But I believe that DJ Jones is a free agent. I have to look at it to confirm. So don't hold me to that. But I believe he is. And he is a good run stopper. So I'd rather Saleh take streets. I don't like streets. Take streets. And if he don't take streets, let's kick him to the streets. Because this dude sucks. I'm trying to think about oh my God, what is this? The linebacker, the defensive end that got hurt and he didn't play all year. Help me out, guys. What is his name? Something the third. It's the tip of my tongue. It's right at the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of his name. He is a defensive end. He did not play all year this year. He was supposed to come in towards the end of the year, but they shut him down because he wasn't healthy because of his knee. Something junior the third. Well, I don't know if the junior part's in it, but I know he's the third. I'm curious. I forgot his name, but I believe, is a free agent too. He may go and follow Robert Saleh, and he is a potential Ronald Blair. Thank you, Tom. Ronald Blair the third. I like what he can do. The thing is, he can't stay healthy. But when healthy, this kid is going to be a great pass rusher. I would hate to lose him to Robert Saleh. So we'll have to wait and see. Thank you there, Tom. I appreciate it, man, for bailing me out. You are awesome. But, yeah, guys. That's going to be it. Just wanted to come on here real quick, talk about Robert Saleh, his potential landing spots, what's best for him and his family, what's best for the organization, which organization will be a good fit for him, and which coaches and players will follow Robert Saleh this year. And then not only that, but then we have Adam Peters possibly being hired as a GM somewhere. Our San Francisco 49ers, unfortunately, are not going to be the same in 2021. There's going to be a shakeup in the front office. We're going to possibly lose Adam Peters, lose Robert Saleh, lose a few players, lose a few coaches. And then Martin, which is the other a possible candidate, I don't know his full name, but he's also a minority that could go and become a GM, may go as well. So they can be a complete shakeup in the front office and on the field. So, wow, this offseason will be interesting, to say the least. It will be interesting. All these moving pieces. What will the puzzle look like once it is complete? Wow, it's going to be interesting to see. When do you think decisions will be made? Not soon. Decisions, I mean, they have into March. Now, I'm talking about free agency, and I'm talking about signing players. The decision about Robert Saleh is going to be within the next couple of weeks, maybe a week, 2 weeks from now. We'll know whether he stays or goes in about 2 weeks, because whoever hires Robert Saleh has to put together his coaching staff. And then they have to prepare for the combine, free agency, and the draft. So if you're referring to about Robert Saleh, I expect that to happen immediately from between now and 2 weeks from now. Okay, you just confirmed Robert Saleh. So yeah, so I expect it from anytime soon, at least into the middle of this month. We will know, because again, it's paramount that whatever team hires a head coach, that head coach has to hire a staff, put it together. Then after they hire every staff member, he has to evaluate this. This is what the coach has to do. He has to evaluate all the coaches that are remaining on that particular team. He has to evaluate all the players that are on contract and that have possibly there will be free agents on that particular team. So there's so much work to be done. We as fans, we look at it as, okay, the season's over. We'll see you in July for training camp, OTAs, and then preseason in August, and then the game starts in September. But for a coach, it is an ongoing job. Robert Saleh gets hired. He's going to have to build a staff. He's going to have to evaluate the players. Let's say he goes to the Chargers. He's going to have to evaluate all the players there. He's going to have to evaluate all the coaches that are behind. Do they want to play for him? Do they want a coach with him? Or does he need to bring other coaches? All that comes into play. So I expect that to come fairly soon if he gets hired to a team. Hey, Beto, what time is the NWA podcast again? It is always on Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. YouTube only. Only on YouTube now. It's going to be Mondays and Fridays. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Unless there's a change, we'll let you guys know. But for going the near future, that is the times and dates. Oh, real quick. If you haven't already, subscribe to, hit the like button. I should have said this from the beginning. I'm still learning to do more lives on YouTube. I am so used to doing it on Facebook. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification so that you will be notified. Do that not only here on the Niners Sickness YouTube channel, which is my personal YouTube, but if you haven't done already, go over to YouTube and do it under the NWA podcast. Subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Also, me and E-Man, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but me and E-Man, we started a podcast, just us two, and we are covering all 32 teams. We are covering all 32. We talk about all the teams, not specifically just the Niners. We talk about every single team in the NFL. If you want to be part of that and you want to just chime in or you want to watch the show, you are welcome to follow us and subscribe. That YouTube name that we have, it is Easy, EZY. No. Yeah. Is it, hold on, guys. I got to remember. Yeah. EYZ, Easy Sports. And with the Z at the end, no S. So Easy Sports with a Z at the end instead of the S on sports. And then for easy, it is EYZ. Look us up on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the notification. If you want to chime in, if you want to follow us, you're welcome to. If not, stay here. Stay here on the NWA and follow my personal page as you already are, and you're good to go. But if you like, and it's not a trash talk YouTube channel, so it's not about going over there and talking trash about other teams. We generally really talk with no bias about all 32 teams. And we'll talk about the good and the bad and the ugly, but there's no disrespect. There's no trash talking. You know what I mean? We keep it because, you know, every fan out there loves their team as much as we love ours. And we may dislike that particular team, but their fans are just as fanatics about their team as we are for ours. But neither here or there. That is, if you want to be part of it, you want to join us, look for it, Easy Sports on YouTube. If not, don't worry about it. Stay faithful here on the NWA and the Niner Sickness Report. All right, guys, that is going to be it for tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me tonight, discussing the Robert Saleh possibilities. Where is he going to go? Which team? Will he remain as the Niners? So there's 5 teams, actually, right now. The 4 teams that I mentioned, and then the San Francisco 49ers, if he stays, that are looking to have his services. And if he goes, who is he taking? Personnel-wise and players. All that we will discuss in future reference. And also, before I go, here on my personal page, I will be doing a lot of breaking news. Breaking news. So, whenever there's something happens with the 49ers, any changes, I will come on here and share that with you guys. So make sure your notification bell is on here on the Niner Sickness, my personal channel, because as soon as I hear something that is a major breaking news, I will bring that information to you here on this channel. So God bless. Have a wonderful night. Love you guys. And until next time, I am out. Peace.